You now tuned in to the Gumptown Podcast. I'm your boy Doug B. We ain't got nothing to talk about, but we got something to talk about. Let's go. Good people, good people, good people. Welcome back to the Gumptown Podcast, episode 16. I'm your boy Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving this podcast a shot. Today's guest, I met Monique back in 2017, met her through word of mouth. People in the city was raving about this new cheesecake spot, and I was intrigued, so I pulled up, and I was not disappointed. I've been a frequent customer ever since then. Best cheesecake out there, in my opinion. Aside from that, she's a cool, down-to-earth person. I'm excited to hear her story. I'm excited for this conversation. She is the founder and owner of the Cheesecake Empori-Yum, and I'm pretty sure you all will be inspired by her story. Let's give a warm Gumptown round of applause for Monique Williams. Monique, how's it going?
It's going good. How's it going with you?
All is well, all is well. First things first, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me. I really appreciate it.
Look, no problem. Happy to be here.
Yes, ma'am. So for the people who don't know who Monique Williams is, tell them a little bit of your story, where you from and how you got to where you are now.
Okay, so my name is Monique Williams. I am 35. I am a native of Montgomery, Alabama. Peter Crump, Cloverdale, Lamp, right there. I went to college at University of Alabama, Roll Tide, graduated from there, and I moved back here to study marriage and family therapy at Amherst University. I ended up actually falling in love, getting married, and when I was getting married, I needed money for my wedding, so I started baking. I would bake cupcakes and like little mini cheesecakes, and I would sell them for like $1 at my job. I was a bartender at the casino, Wind Creek, and they would sell out. So I would make like $200-$300 a day. Needless to say, I had a great wedding. I took a break from baking and ended up getting divorced 2 years later. Went back to baking because I was like, dang, I went from two incomes to one. I need to go back to baking. I need some more money. So I went back to baking, really fell in love with it. It just, became like super therapeutic for me, and everyone loved it. And everyone kept asking me to keep baking and I should open something. And I was just basically like, if I was going to do anything, I didn't want to do a cupcake shop. I really wanted to specialize in something that no one else was really doing. And then I could really just put my own flair on it. So I decided to do cheesecakes because cheesecakes can be sweet and it can be savory and just so many different combinations. And I really loved it. So decided to open up a little cheesecake shop. 2016, I did pop-up shops for a whole year. And then I eventually opened my storefront in March 17th, 2017. That's my story.
Wow, what a story. That's a great story. And the thing that really stuck out to what you just said was you wanted to specialize in something. You didn't want to be like a lot of other businesses that pop up because you wanted to put your own stamp on things. You wanted to specialize in cheesecakes and you wanted to put your own spin on it. So now that's awesome. That's awesome that you had that vision because you could have stood up a cupcake shop or you could have stood up an ice cream parlor. But cheesecake is definitely different. It's unique and it has worked out well for you. So good stuff.
It has. Apparently, everyone just enjoys the way I make my cheesecake. And I was like, that's great because I like the way I make my cheesecake too. I'm glad. And it's just blew up since then.
Right. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So let's talk more about the Cheesecake Emporium. What products and services do you offer outside of cheesecake?
So outside of cheesecakes, we actually have a full-size catering menu. Plus we have egg rolls, which some people know about, some people don't know about. We have our egg rolls available every day. We make 10 different varieties of them. Our number one seller is our soul food egg rolls, which is going to be chicken, cornbread, and collard greens. And it comes with a cranberry maple dipping sauce. And then we also have 9 others on top of that. My personal favorite is the chicken fried rice one, just because it's kind of like, a little Chinese meal. And when a little egg roll, plus I make my own little yum yum sauce, which I really like. So that's it's my favorite. Besides that, on Fridays, we also have lunches. We do like a cinnamon roll chicken sandwich on some days. We have like a Cajun pasta. It's getting cold, so shrimp and grits is going to be back. We also make like a jerk pasta too. And when we expand, we'll be expanding our menu, which will include a whole brunch menu on Saturday and Sunday.
Nice. Y'all making things happen. You making things happen over there, rocking and rolling. Nah, that's
But
good
we're
stuff.
growing. We're growing.
Nah, that's what it's all about. It's all about growing, learning, and continuing to just evolve. And nah, that's good stuff. So it's three things I like to talk about whenever I have entrepreneurs on the platform. Entrepreneurs like yourself like to talk about the aha moment, the action, and the audacity. Sounds like your aha moment that sparked the idea to start your company was when you went through that situation with the divorce. Is there anything else you want to add on to? Like what sparked that? What sparked the idea to start the Cheesecake Emporium?
Well, you know what? I think it really was most likely my divorce because once you go through a whole divorce, kind of like, dang,
Mhm.
that really sucked. It's like one like really big failure that you were expecting to last and it didn't last. So then it was kind of like, you know what? Like the fear of my business failing and it not working out really didn't seem bad. I had already had one big thing happen to me and I survived it and I was like, better than ever from it. So I was like, shoot, jump. Why not? What's
Nice.
stopping me? So I think that was like really my big like aha moment too.
Nah, that's great, man. I mean, you turned something detrimental. You flipped it on its head and you turned it into something positive. Kudos to you for not letting that situation defeat you because could have very well gone the other way and you could have just said, you know what, I'm going through this and I had this cheesecake thing going. Forget that. I'm just gonna continue to punch the clock and bartend and continue to hate to use this word, but settle for
Yeah,
that life
yeah.
that you had.
Look, I totally feel you. Like basically, yeah.
No, man, no, that's awesome, awesome. So it sounds like it didn't take you very long to actually put in action to start the business from the time you got the idea. How long exactly did it take you from the time you first had the aha moment to actually start the business and create the logo and stuff like that?
Okay, so the first that was like 2015. So right around 2015, I had got divorced 2014. So 2015 rolls around and I'm still baking and I'm still a bartender. And I'm just like, thinking like, I think I want to like do something with this. So I partnered with Charles Lee with that's my dog, that's my child. And he started selling my cupcakes first. Little known fact, me and Charles used to work together at the Olive Garden, like when I was like early 20s. So we both knew each other. And he was like, "You started a business?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I got one. Come sell your desserts here." And I was like, "Cool. Why not?" So I would do like little pop-ups with him. And that's like really how I kind of like got my start. And he kind of like helped me ease my way in there. And then the logo came from I was at a pop-up shop at the library, the one on Mobile Highway. Yeah, the one on Mobile Highway. And I met these like really cool dudes. They're from Baltimore and they made ice cream and they really loved my cupcakes, my cheesecakes. And I was like, I need a logo. Cause like back then I was just like Mo's sweet spot. It was just like,
Right.
generic little name, what I'm saying? And I was like, I need some cheesecake-ish. I knew I wanted it to be Cheesecake Emporium because I was like, Emporium is a place where you can get a variety of the same thing. And I was like, oh, that's it. That's what I'm doing. So I wanted it to be Cheesecake Emporium. And met this cool guy, and he was like, I can do your logo for free. And I was like, who are you? Hmm? Hmm? Who are you?
Right.
Yeah. And it turns out he was like this big time like graphic designer for Def Jam. Like he did the movie logo for Belly.
Wow.
I'm like,
Nice.
what do you do in Montgomery? He's oh, I got friends here. I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Yeah. So he ended up making my logo. Yeah, and he was like, by the way, I switched up the naming. So instead of Emporium, it's Empori-Yum. I just thought it was cool. And I was like, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's how we got the logo and stuff. It was like super crazy. But yeah, that's exactly how it happened.
Nice. So hats off to you for basically having that idea and getting right to it, not spending a whole bunch of time sitting around overthinking. Because
No. I
it's
was like,
important.
take no time. Like, why take time? I can understand if you need a lot of money, but what I was doing didn't need a lot of money. Like, I think if I was like maybe in like the tech space or something like that, I would like need the funds. But literally, it was just like I bake, I save 3/4 of it to do some more with it, and keep 1/4 for myself, and I bake some more, and that was it. That was just what I kept doing.
No, and even to that point, what you're saying about it not taking you a lot of money to do what you were doing. To be honest with you, it sounds like to me you prioritized the business. You weren't just throwing your money away. You were actually making money and investing it back into the business. And that's a key point because a lot of times, like while I agree with you, if you were in a tech space or something like that, you would likely need more startup capital. But to be honest with you, I think a lot of people struggle with money management, and it sounds like you knew right away, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm making money off of this. Instead of me spending it on a Birkin, you decided to pour it back into your business. So hats off to you. Like I don't want people to miss that. Nah, that's great stuff that you had the awareness to take 3/4 of it and pour it back into the business. Hats off to you.
Listen, you know what? It never stops. Even to this day, it never stops. I have friends who invite me to Greece, and I can't go to Greece right now. I cannot because I have a new building that I have to pay for and build outs that I need to do. And I need a refrigerator and a commercial oven. And I'm like, I can't go to Greece. I want to go to Greece, but I cannot go to Greece. And that's just like the sacrifices that you really have to realize if you're ready to make those sacrifices.
No,
If you're not, then it is what it is, and you're not. This is not the life for you.
that's the key word. Making those sacrifices, sacrificing fun for what you for your ultimate goal. Because I know you got in business to stay in business, not have a couple of good years and then fall off because you decided to go to Greece instead of getting that oven or paying rent.
Look, the rent got to be paid every time.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. So you go
and
from
electricity.
right, the rent and the bills and utilities got to be paid. Nah, right on. So you get from the idea to actually starting a business, which is important because a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck between the idea and actually starting. So in between the idea and actually starting, I believe there's a portion in there where you have to build up courage. I like to call it audacity. And my question to you is who or what gave you the audacity to actually step out there and start a business? Because it's not easy to step out there. So it takes courage. Where did that come from?
You know what? I'm gonna blame my mom, okay? Because my mom is super big on the whole. You can do whatever you want to do. You can, and it really backfired on her. Because when I came up with this little idea of baking cheesecake, she was like, "So you gonna sell cheesecakes for a living? That's what you plan on doing?" He's like, how's that gonna pay the bills? Like where the money gonna come from? I thought he was gonna be a therapist. She's like she was not like she was on board because she loves me. Well, she was not on board. But I was like, Mom, I was like, you know what? Just give me a year. Let's see how this year goes. If it doesn't go well, it'll be fine. And I ended up getting a part-time job as a manager at Ross. And I had never done retail before, and I knew I never wanted to do retail before. And then I just realized like retail was a horrible job. Like literally people come in, they mess up your clothes, they don't buy stuff, and then you got to refix it. It was just like a nightmare to me. So I said, if I get this job that I already know I'm going to hate, I won't stay. I'll be ready to go. And I'm going to fight to do what I need to do to leave. So I got the job. It was horrible. Love the people though. Love the people. Put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm a Ross people. What's up? Hated it. And I found a commercial kitchen and I started doing the pop-up shops. We did the pop-up shops every Wednesday. And then we went from every Wednesday to every Friday. And then Wednesday, Friday, and Saturdays. And that's how the pop-up shops went. And as the popularity grew, I started cutting back more hours at Ross to the point where I was like, I got enough money that, I can afford to live and I can do what I need to do. Yeah. And then eventually what happened is, little small fact, the little walk up area that is where my shop is right now used to be my landlord's storage room. And I went to church, and my pastor was talking about how sometimes, you got to give people the vision of
Mm-hmm.
where you're going, and they'll follow you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I get what you're saying. I'm saying, because I was trying to find a storefront, and the realization hit me that I ain't had no money to afford the cost. I was like, no, I ain't got no money for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the shop that day. I looked around. I looked in that room, and I said, what? Hold up. There's a door to the back. There's a door in this room. There's a ramp.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I said, I can make this a storefront, Like, yeah, there's a jewelry store in the front that's really weird. They're going to have to park in the back. I'm going to have to explain it. And I was like, I don't care though, because I can make this a storefront and I can be open every day. I called my landlord. I told him the idea. And he was like, cool, give me an extra $100 a month. And I was like, bet. And me and my dad emptied out that room. And a month later, that's when we officially opened. So it's like literally just making a way with what you have. And it was literally back then, it wasn't a refrigerator in there. It was literally just a table with a tablecloth. And I had like these old little plates that my mom found. And we put little cheesecakes on top. And that was it. And people would come in and sell stuff. That was what we were doing. I had got some old pictures that I already took, and we blew them up at Office Depot, and we laminated them. We put them up on the walls with little stickets, and that was it. And some drapes from Walmart. And we
Nah,
opened
that's great.
up.
Nah, that's great. Nah, that's great. And hey, hats off to mom for instilling that audacity in you. She said you can do whatever you wanted to do, and she didn't know that you were actually going to do it. And look, you did it.
Look, she on board now. Now when she wears
Oh
the
yeah.
Cheesecake Emporium shirt, people stop her and be like, the lady who owned the cheesecake place. They be like, that's my daughter. And be like, no, it's your daughter. So she loving now.
Nice, nice.
Hmm. She
Nah,
good
that's
and on
good
board.
stuff. That's my baby. Nah, that's
That's
nice.
exactly how it is. That's my baby. That's my baby.
Nah, that's all
She's the
right.
cheesecake lady.
Nah, that's all right. That's all right. And nah, that's a great story about what you got from church about you have to tell people the vision and where you're going and see what happened with you had that courage and you had the audacity to go to your landlord and look what that turned into. You just never know. If you never ask the question, there's always no. So hats off to you for having the courage to ask the question.
Look, you gotta take them leaps, ask them questions. Look, you'd be like, cause I was like, what? $100?
That was easy.
Oh, I was so. Oh, this is fabulous.
Right. Now that's good stuff. Let's talk about long term vision. What's coming down the pipeline for the Cheesecake Emporium? What's the long term vision for the company?
Okay, so long-term vision. I will give you short-term vision first.
Okay.
In the next 6 months, we will be opening a new location. We will be at 7 Gold Wave Street. That's going to be like 5 Points, Cottage Hill area, downtown Montgomery. And we'll be expanding to a dessert bar. So we will have all of our dessert options plus wine, beer, and cocktail pairings with them. Also, increased menus. So we'll have like sliders, dips, charcuterie boards. On the weekends, Fridays, on Saturdays and Sundays, we're gonna have a whole brunch menu, including some good shrimp and grits, a couple chicken and waffles, and then some new and exciting recipes I've been trying out on my friends, and they love them. So I'm sure you guys are gonna love them too. Plus, we're gonna offer some live music also. So that is within the first 6 months. After that, the goal is to have more than one location. So a location here, hopefully a couple locations in Alabama. I have a wonderful financial advisor, a wonderful accountant that keeps me in check with my goals. A wonderful real estate broker who is on the hunt now, trying to find me the best deals of how we can grow the business. So that's awesome. So that is like the main goals. Also, getting our egg rolls in grocery stores is also one of our goals for the next coming year or two. Yeah, we're gonna start with Sam's Club first, and we kind of see where it can grow from there. What after that? Like sky's the limit. Who knows? Maybe some cookbooks, maybe a show. Maybe candles that smell like my cheesecakes. I don't know.
Nah, nice. First things first, I want to congratulate you on a new location. That's dope. Congrats. And that long-term vision that you have of being in grocery stores and expanding out, you'll make it happen. I have no doubt. Just keep at it. Keep doing what you've been doing and just keep rocking and rolling. Like you said, sky's the limit. Looking forward to the expansion.
Look, me too. Look, I want to be able to put like, Montgomery on the map. Like, what? This multi-million dollar company in Montgomery. What? Started there, making cheesecakes, making egg rolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about, providing jobs, doing community work. And then of course making lots of money. All that together.
No doubt. Like, I mean,
all three, creating jobs, helping
nah,
community, making lots of money. That's what we want. Those three things.
right. And don't have any shame in wanting to make a lot of money. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, none. I have no shame in it.
Nah, that's good stuff. And to your point about putting Montgomery on the map, that leads into my final question. I started this podcast to shed light on Montgomery, wanted to put Montgomery on the map in my own right. Let's talk about the Gump in terms of you being from here, born and raised here. What positive impact has the Gump had on you and your overall evolution as a woman and entrepreneur?
I'll say for one thing, I'm a wonderful product of MPS system.
Nice.
High school, I did go to a magnet school, but I also did go to 2 other schools before then, so that's cool. So yeah, I'm proud to be educated here. I'm proud to have come back here. I'm proud to have opened a business here. I'm proud of the community of people that are actually fighting to change Montgomery. I think Montgomery gets a little, bad rep from time to time on a lot of the old money and the old ways that have been happening. But slowly but surely, we're changing and we're growing. We are becoming more of a cultural city. Our nightlife is growing. Downtown is growing. And I think 10 years from now, I think we'll have a different Montgomery than we're used to seeing. And that comes from a lot of people who are here who want to see a difference in Montgomery, actually committing to changing Montgomery instead of saying, you know what, I'm just going to move away. Why not we just stay here and we grow our city and we create the change that we want to see?
Nice. That's great. That's great. But specifically, coming up in the MPS system, so is there anything else you want to add to what Montgomery has meant to you in terms of your evolution as an entrepreneur?
You know what? I'll say this. Montgomery is not the easiest place to grow a business. I think if you can make it here, you can kind of just make it anywhere. It takes a lot of getting to know a lot of its citizens here, a lot of the people who are with you, and like really interacting with people and just talking with them and creating relationships. And I've been thankful enough to grow and create relationships here in Montgomery's home. Good or bad, it's home, and it feels good to be here. It's like a little safe space for me as a person, to just for all of my successes and my failures to be here.
Nice. Nice. So how can the people connect with you, Monique? What are your social media handles, Facebook and IG?
Okay, so you can connect with me, the Cheesecake Empori-Yum on IG. My personal one is Cheesecake and Curls because I bake cheesecakes and my hair is actually curling when it's not straight. Facebook is going to be Cheesecake Empori-Yum also, and then my name, Monique Williams, for the personal one.
Nice.
Also, I have a website, thecheesecakeemporium.com.
Nice. And of course, I'll put all this in the description of the episode. Monique, thank you again for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me. I really appreciate it.
Look, anytime. Look, and I'll see you for some cinnamon rolls, right? Like
I'll be ordering some soon.
There you go. I got you. Anytime. Thanks.
Yes. Good people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumptown Podcast. We gone, but before we leave, remember, be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you. Gone. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your attention. Until next time.